Uncle Joe Spelling Show. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you 4.5. We'll give you 4. The word for today is, we're going to do 2. The word for today is court, C-O-U-R-T.
I'm going to join early because he's cutting me down to 4 minutes now. Go ahead.
Court, that's the spelling, and a better spelling of court would be, a simpler spelling of court would be C-O-U-R-T. Excuse me, C-O-R-T, court. The other word for today is yummy.
I like that.
Why? Y-U-M-M-Y. Yummy. That's a good spelling. It's a good, the double M.
Court could be spelled with a K.
And speaking of court.
And yummy could be spelled with 1 M.
Speaking of court, we'll get to court. I want to do a shout out to my base. What you gonna do? I want to give a shout out to my softball team from Mr. Douglas, a softball team from last summer. We the church, the league in the Central Park, and we won the championship. And this is a hat. It's, what does it say? Madison Avenue Presbyterian Church. Shout out. But back to real shout out for today is cousin Ron is a Supreme Court. He's a member of Diana Ross and the Supremes. You're a member of the Supreme Court of the U.S. training system. What are you? Who are you? What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, I went to Washington, D.C. With my mom, and I was sworn in.
You swore at your mom?
I swore at my mom. No, never. I was sworn in to practice before the United States Supreme Court by none other than Chief Justice Roberts. It was amazing.
You give us 22 minutes. Oh, we still have time. That is amazing that you finally did that. There's only yesterday, in front of the Supreme Court, there were a grand total of how many people that got sworn in. These are people that can bring can represent someone,
correct,
a case in front of the Supreme Court, and it's unusual to have that.
You know, I downplayed it in our previous shows.
Yes,
I did, because I didn't think it was such a big deal, and it's not something that another attorney cannot accomplish.
But most lawyers cannot do that. They are not authorized to do that.
Well, most are not, because I guess they don't know, or they choose not to, or whatever the case may be.
But the point is that most lawyers are not authorized to bring a case before the Supreme Court. Correct?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but
pump it up, baby.
That's probably true. You know what I'm going to pump up? I'm going to pump up the fact that sitting in that courtroom in front of all 9 judges, and I had the best seat in the house. I sat in the front row center because my last name begins with A, so it was the last one in line, right? And there I was, sitting right in front of Chief Justice Roberts and Ginsburg and all the rest of them. And
somebody was very quiet during the proceedings. Who was the Chief Justice that was quiet during?
Well, you know, they let us sit in on a case, and it was a very interesting case about Title VII and employment discrimination, wrongful termination, blah blah, and all 8 of the 9 judges, you know, were grilling the attorneys, and Clarence Thomas did not say a word. He only laughed one time because one of the attorneys called Justice, I forgot which justice, by the wrong name.
And you and I are sympathetic to Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
We agree with most of his findings, and yet you feel bad that he didn't have anything to say yesterday.
I have not followed most of his findings.
Was he looking up at the ceiling?
But I will say this. He was just kind of... Yeah, but if you've never been to the Supreme Court, go. If you're an American, go.
Uncle Joe Spelling Show, you gave us 22 minutes, we gave you 4.
4.
Cut it.
4.
Cut.
4.